Yo guys, what's going on? Ace is here today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the flea market tip that the Chads do not want you to know about. The guys that are profiting a shit ton of rubles right now off of people doing gunsmith and stuff like that, they don't want you knowing this, because once you know this, you will never buy a high-priced item that has a barter again. So if you're a veteran player, if you have a ton of hours of the game, you're good with the flea market, any of the above, you consider yourself a Chad, I don't want to waste your time today. You're probably going to know this tip, so you don't need to stick around, but I do appreciate you stopping by. But if you do want to stick around, I appreciate you as well. If you guys are newer players, then I would highly suggest learning this tip if you haven't already, and maybe you find something else valuable in today's video. So one thing before I get started, make sure you hit that like button if you learned something here today. You don't have to hit it now, but at least by the end of the video, make sure you're smacking that like button for the YouTube algorithm. The channel has been doing great, very healthy, and that's because of you guys, so I really do appreciate all the support. And drop that sub. Let's hop into it. So the primary thing is going to be there's a spoiler, but the primary thing is going to be the excluding bartering offers filter. We're going to check out 3 examples here today, but the excluding barter offers is a big filter for some of those higher priced items. So random weapon attachments that at the beginning of wipe or sometime later in wipe might be selling for 100,000 rubles. If you click that, you might find a lot better of a deal. So that rotor that we were just checking out for the AS-Val is going to be one of our examples. I'm going to show you 3 examples here today. I'm going to show you a low-level example, high-level example, and then kind of a mid-tier one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the high-level one, which is the rotor. All right, so the reason I couldn't find it on the list is because there is none actually on the market right now. And when there is, they're being bought up immediately. So when we just saw that one AS-Val Rotor 43 pistol grip and buffer tube, that was actually at 44,000. That's extremely underpriced for that. This is more like 150,000 ruble attachment that when you list it on the flea market, you can get a shit ton of rubles for. And we saw the 44,000 one for a second, which definitely sold right away, instantly. But if you go ahead and click the excluding bartering offers filter off, which is on by default, so a lot of you guys might not even know this exists. When you click that, you will see that mechanic. Now, I'm not sure what level you have to be for mechanic. This is for a gunsmith task way down in the line for gunsmith. So you're probably not going to get there anytime soon, but at least you know for the future. Mechanic is selling one of these on barter for 1 milk. Literally a milk, which is super easy to find in maps like Woods. And pretty much a good amount on interchange. Not as much, but Woods primarily. You're going to find a shit ton of them. And you can just buy them. Milk is extremely cheap, okay? Milk is going to cost you, I think, 18K max? Yeah, 18,000 rubles. So you can get that 150,000 ruble attachment for 18,000 rubles. It saves you so much money. And nobody does it because they don't know. It's that simple. They just buy the attachment and they don't do the barter. So I'm going to show you another example that at the beginning of wipe, this item sells for an absolute shit ton, and there is a barter for it that nobody does. So right here, you can actually see it's still inflated a little bit, but the plastic 4-stock for the 133 for Gunsmith 1, the very first one of the Gunsmith line, Mechanic has a barter for this at level 1 for 1 hard drive. 1 damaged hard drive, guys. Like, you don't have to pay. At one point, these were 150,000 rubles in, like, the first week of wipe. They were crazy. For 1 hard drive, you can go ahead and get the barter, and it's unlocked right away. So, a hard drive, damaged hard drive, if I could spell, is going to cost you 18K as well. So, in this example, it's not as great. The hard drives are up a little bit, but let's be honest. Hard drives are in almost every other computer. Just stick it in your gamma and you're good to go. No matter what, if you die, if it's in your case or even your alpha, it's going to fit in your alpha. It doesn't matter. The point is there's barters for these things, and they don't have to be found in raid or anything like that. So the next one and final one, which is one that mind boggles me all the time that people do. We're going to buy a Slicker's bar. That's what we're going to do first. And I actually have a video on this on my channel from a while back in the last wipe. But we're going to buy a Slicker's bar for 7,000 rubles. So you see we're buying one for 7,000 rubles. We're going to go to the scav vest that sell like crazy. And as you can see, wow, these are down a lot. But guys, these usually sell in the 20s, 25K range. They are down pretty tremendously right now. These are not going to stay at this price. I can almost guarantee that. But regardless, we still bought a Slicker's bar at 7,000 rubles. You guessed it. Jaeger for 1 Slicker's bar will give you a scav vest. And with this barter, there is no limit. There is no limit to how many scav vests you can get. If you want them all, you can get them all. You can see there is no limit. Boom, lock it in, and we are good to go for 7,000 rubles and not the outrageous prices that these scav vests do get up to. Sometimes even 30K. Prime time, check out the scav vests. They're going to be a lot higher than this price, especially 11,000 rubles. That's ridiculous. But guys, that is the tip they don't want you knowing. This is 3 items in the game. There are tons of barter items. Let me just show you Mechanic, how much shit that he has for barter. There are tons of items in this game that can be bartered for that nobody does. Nobody knows about. So this is one tip that the guys that are selling you these weapon attachments for 150,000 rubles don't want you knowing, because once you know it, you'll never buy from them again. This is going to hurt me, but I don't care if it helps you. We're good to go. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video here today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these tips, these money guides, these other things that I do here on the channel that are going to be helpful to you. Make sure you drop that sub. Make sure you check out my sponsors and equipment in the description below. Also really helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm out.